Good morning, hello. Happy Sunday, everyone. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. I am, I wasn't feeling super well earlier this weekend, but I think hopefully I didn't pick up anything, when I went out, went shopping or any of the other things we did this weekend. But hope, it's always like one of those like weird worry things is, okay, oh, hello. Ah, sorry. I hit the microphone there when I was trying to grab Zilby. But yeah, it's like, it's one of these weird things of, do I want to continue wearing, wearing a mask when I'm going out into grocery stores and everything else, because I wasn't sick at all last year. And it's not like those other diseases went away. It's just that, we're all wearing protection. So so far I have been trying to, but I ended up having to, not, because like all my masks were gone and I needed to go in and grab something really quickly. And then I felt like a tiny bit of scratchy throat this morning, which not the best thing. Certainly not an argument for going unmasked. Yes? What's up? Hi. I have one toy I can give you. Come on, Zilby. Okay, we'll see if he brings that back. All right, what are we doing today? Today, we're taking a look about you. Okay, so what is, oh, they have night mode. What is U? U is a modern REST framework for creating multi-threaded front-end web apps using WebAssembly. It features a component-based framework which makes it easy to create interactive UIs. Developers who have experience with frameworks like React and Elm should feel quite at home when using U. I have not used Elm, but I have used React. It achieves great performance by minimizing DOM API calls, by helping developers easily offload. Okay, so all the good things. Let's dive in here. Okay, first of all, you need Rust and Cargo. You also need to install this. I've done WebAssembly in the past, but I have no idea if I did it, if I installed this. No, apparently not. Extra tooling is needed to facilitate the interop between WebAssembly and JavaScript. Additionally, depending upon the tool you use, they can make development and packaging much less of a headache by generating all of the JavaScript code necessary to load and run your app's WASM binary in a browser. I want to say that we've... Oh no, these are all the tools. Because I think we've installed WASM Pack in the past, but it might have been one of the other ones too. I can't remember. Trunk, a tool practically made for building U apps. It can build any WASM bindgen based app, and its design is inspired by rollup.js. Ooh, nice. With Trunk, you don't need to have Node.js installed or touch any JavaScript code for that matter. It can bundle assets for your app and even ships with a Sass compiler. All of your examples are built with Trunk. Okay, so we need to get Trunk. Okay, so that's installing that. So we got that going. Wasm pack. Oh, okay. So. Oh, okay. Well, I guess wait for this to install. Uh-oh, one error. Failed to run custom build command for sys. This is trunk rust. Let's see what we can find. Let's see. Maybe we can go to their. No, that's the wrong one. Maybe we can go to your GitHub and see an error for this. Okay, so trunk. You're not showing an error in there. Perhaps I should also install and set this all up in WSL. Maybe that would be easier. Let's actually try that. So one thing I noticed that I can do is I can open up this. Wait, no, it's this. So we have PowerShell right now, and I can go to Ubuntu. Oh, this is nice. That's a nice change. Okay, so here we are in this same directory here. Let's make sure we've updated Rust. This might take a while as well, and then we can install those things that we need to install. And maybe this will be better for us. This is just in removing. Huh. I was surprised that the removing took so long. It obviously has been a long time since I built anything in Rust inside of WSL. All of the game type stuff has had to be in just in Windows itself. Sylvie, you okay? Sylvie? Made an odd meowing sound, but it didn't continue. There might be another one of those "I want you to play with me" sounds, but you're not willing to come to let me play with him. Okay, rest docs. Wait, removing again. Oh, is this for each? This is for each of the tool chains, isn't it? Right, because I have nightly installed here. That takes a lot longer. There we go. Okay, so we have stable has been updated to 1.52.1. And so now we can come back into here. So we're going to start by installing you. Probably. Oh, did I give one? Okay, up to date. Then we're gonna go trunk, wasn't pack, cargo web. Let's see if this works. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, then I guess we're in trouble. My Linux system that I act like my true Linux system is out for the count right now. It had a SSD drive failure and I haven't replaced it yet. I've actually just been using this computer for my programming purposes since it's all essentially all my personal programming has been, during this time essentially. Okay, so SAS RS, I think it was SAS sys that we ran into trouble with. It may have passed already. We're pretty close to the end now. Okay, compiling trunk. Excellent. Okay, so it looks like this is going to be a WSL project. If you were. Maybe? Possibly? After this one is done, it's gonna be this WASM pack. It immediately started doing more. Oh, it must have like a post install script. I was not expecting that. Okay. Yeah, okay. So wait, did it somehow grab, did I somehow like paste that in when I didn't want to? That's weird. So we now have you. Okay, cargo web is next. So while that's going, so that will be the end of this. We'll be back to, okay, back to project setup. Okay, so we're getting started with all those. I don't necessarily care about this right now. We'll probably care about it in a bit. Okay, there's a minimal template. Okay, so basically I could just git clone this. Oh, this is this is a template repo. Oh, I don't think I've used this. I've used a template repo before. So we can create this. Let's see, this is going to be called a how about probable potato? No, how about you like learning you? Then we can come back here. So learning you. What? You won't let me? Oh, are you not actually created yet? Oh no, there you go. Okay, so then I want to. We don't want to be in here anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and exit out. And we're gonna open this back up here. I guess so. Okay, so here we are in learning new. Here's all of our code for this. I want to open up a WSL window. And okay, so usage. So we've already done this. I think we've already done this. Okay, so then it's just gonna be trunk serve. I wonder how fast each recompile should be. Hopefully it should be pretty fast for development purposes. Okay, so you want me to do that. Sure, let's let you through. So for my local network. Okay, so we have localhost port 8080. All right, here we are. Hello world, from you with love. Now, inside of here, okay, we can build trunk build with release to build release mode. There's also a trunk watch command, which does the same thing, but without hosting it. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, so the code in main RS specific to the example is limited only to the view method. So let's take a look at that. So we have source, main RS. Oh, that's the only file in source. So we have a lot to play with here. All of this command is just for, okay, so the view is what we care about here. So it's returning HTML, which is probably part of the U prelude. Oh, a nice macro here to create this. Okay, nice enough. Now we also have, there's a fair bit of Sass in index.scss. Okay, so they have index.sass here and index.html. Okay, so these are pulling in these. Okay, so is this front end then? Like, is you including the code to be able to compile Sass in the front end as opposed to in a back end and then just give this raw CSS? Okay, so if we have those, okay, so we're creating like model, import component for model. So these look like lifetimes. It's like when it creates, when it gets updated, when it gets changed, and then the view for it. And then in main, start app with the model. So like basically app, like this is the equivalent of like the app.view or app.js for React. So I guess the first thing we might want to do is pull this out, and these would be the views. And then we probably also want components that we can like use. Because if I want a component, like a subcomponent, let's say that's the first thing we want to be able to do, is create a component that goes in here that just says hello. Let's see. I wonder if I was to try to do that myself. So pubstruct model, that shouldn't matter what it's called, right? So I'm just going to create a new, so usually what I would like to do is have like components. I'll have like a mod in here. And then let's just do like a hello. Maybe we'll do like a hi. Then in lib, we'll do a hub mod components. And in main, now if I want to pull this out, so we can create you now. So we're gonna create, okay, so a pubstruct model, it's a 0 size struct. So let's call this like the hi component. Now, okay, so for create, this returns just self here. Oh, like a new self. Interesting, okay. So when it's creating this, it's gonna call this as its constructor method, essentially. Update is unimplemented. But we probably could like log something else when it is updated. We'll go ahead and keep the unimplemented for right now, and we'll probably deal with that later. Change. So like if it's been changed or if we are changing it. Should render. Oh, so should it re-render? Okay. So if we look at should render, it's just a type over bool. And then the view, which is going to be the HTML. So I want to use this macro. I guess it's that one. Thought I did. Oh, it didn't. Okay, hold on. Import that. You still unhappy? Oh, we have these. Okay, so type message. Okay, so the message that's coming in. So right now it's just completely empty. And we'll probably have to like play around with this, sort of like to figure out like what exactly are we gonna be pulling in. So we have you. Pops and links aren't being used, nor is this message. All right. Now, do I have to actually... So in the previous one, it's main. That makes sense. This is probably going to be a section. But of course, I have to manually write this because it doesn't recognize this as like the equivalent of like JSX. Okay, so if I want to do like maybe an H2 tag with hi. Oh, and so we noticed that we need this style. So single handlebars. Hi. Now you're still unhappy. I suppose, well, okay. You might be happy, but you might not be happy also. Are you part of the prelude? Okay, so if I actually, so savings, did it actually update? Didn't look like it reran. How do I stop you? Oh, okay. Oh, can't even halt that? Huh. That's not a good sign. Are you still running here? Oh, it's trying to pull this in and it's failing. So I think the server has crashed. All right, so you kill. Let's try this again. Okay, server running at localhost. So if I hit refresh, maybe. It's not done yet. We still haven't received actually the HTML for this. That's actually interesting. Now, when building this, it doesn't actually show the error there, which means I think that this might be like a web analyzer problem. Let's try restarting WebM. There we go. Okay, so that just, yeah, that made that go away. Now, if I want to pull this in, so we're going to use, actually, I don't even know if I need to bring that in. So if I want to pull in like down here, let's say, I want to say like a div. And then I want to pull in this component. So hi. Oh, I guess it should look like this, right? But we need to pull in high. Thank you. So use, what is it? Going to be like create, no, components. Learning you. Components. Hi. This would be like hi, hi. This should, oh, So, oh, the name is trunk template. So let's rename you to learning you. That should make this a little bit happier. Okay, so this part is happy. So now we have hi. You're unhappy because of the unresolved macro HTML, which is great. But that doesn't mean it's not going to work. Okay, look at this. We had a bunch of recompiles. Not found in a scope. Okay, so now it's running again. This isn't showing like a hi anywhere in here that I can see. Let's try refreshing. Like perhaps I need to like even open up another window with it. This is not looking good. Like we were able to get that template going, but just adding a single component, it's not too happy about it. I'm a little bit concerned about like how, okay, this one, okay, I was able to close that. So let's rebuild you. This isn't the best sign. Okay, do I need to do like a cargo build? Maybe I need to build it first and then I can run it with a trunk serve. Still pretty unhappy here. Okay, so the idea is, yeah, the idea is that we just do trunk serve and that opens that up. Let's make sure if I want to create a new component, wait, no, it's components. Okay, so we have the lifecycle methods that all make sense. They don't have an example of a full component, looks like. Like, I guess we have this. So as close as we, yeah, as close as we can get. It doesn't show everything. Let's see, they had the HTML documentation. Okay, so we must close all the tags. That makes sense. I believe we're doing that. Inside of here. So we have HTML, the section, and just this H2. Everything is closed. We're also doing that here where we're trying to pull in high and high. I suppose we can not have this. I'll just try like a paragraph tag. Like, hello world. Just hello. And try that. Okay, this we ran here. That's a good sign. But it's not loading up. Yeah, we're not able to get this here, which we were earlier. Because yeah, we definitely were able to load up the to load up this web server earlier. I don't know why. Like, I let it through the firewall, so that shouldn't be the problem. Like, that should not have reset it. I suppose that I could try, because I don't think we have okay, so trunk is installed here. Oh wait, no, trunk is not installed here, right? Right, trunk is not installed because it failed to install, so I can't actually use it. We have to use WSL. Heck, even if I were to remove all of our stuff, right? So like, let's just stash everything. Okay, all of you are gone. So we have like just the basic app back again. So if I do a trunk serve once again. Localhost 8080. I'm gonna check something with go into secret mode. Let's go into security maybe. Uh, okay, so okay, I'm not turning that on. Firewall. Okay, so the firewall's on private network. We're in private network. What are you? I don't know what it's called. Okay, so trunk is allowed through. There's a bunch of nodes. But beyond that, I don't... Code.exe? Can allow you. Yeah, but that didn't seem to do anything. Oh, you know what I could try? Move that over there. Oh, come on. Just when I hit the button on the Stream Deck, it like reset. Yeah. I got a new Stream Deck, and it's in a box, so I have to set that up. Come on. Let's reload, please. I'm just using one on like my ancient iPad, and it's not happy. Okay, so I want to try actually using a real terminal, and maybe not maybe not this window. So let's actually kill you. And head back here and open up you. Let's see. Okay, let's code. I think this is just learning you. Yeah. And then we're gonna do trunk serve here. It's still not working. Like we got it working for a second, and now it's just like, nope. Not even when I reset the repo and like try rebuilding from scratch. I guess I could try taking out target 2. But yeah, this is unfortunate how it's not working. Well, this is too bad. Stop before I even really get started with it. I couldn't even create our own component to like check out. But that's mostly because we can't just get this working on a Windows system in WSL. I could try updating WSL 2, but I wouldn't do that right now. That'd have to be off stream. And don't. Let's see. We could. Or, yeah, we're in Unix land here. Okay, let's try removing our target. And let's try rebuilding this again. Just in case there's anything weird with the way it was built previously. Okay, so we're serving up localhost. It should just immediately. I guess we could also try completely closing Firefox, opening it again. I am running developer edition. That none of that should matter though. And I didn't see anything with the firewall that was blocking this. So I don't know what's going on. I'll probably have to like spend a little bit more time on it, or we'll just move on. But like, if I can't get this working, like it's so much trouble just getting this working locally. It's not faring well for choosing you for the project. Yeah. All right, let's come back here and take a look at what our choices are once again. Okay, so you this is got the hello world working once, then it never loaded again. So unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to mark you as a no-go for this one. SeedRS is the next thing we're gonna look into. So SeedRS is another Rust front-end framework. This does not have a dark mode. Wait, no, here it is. Whoa, dark mode is down here. I can't, okay. I'm gonna talk about design choices. Okay, so SeedRS. Okay, so basic Rust only quick starts. Okay, so all the examples in the next chapters are based on this template. So let's go ahead and see about using this template, which is another template. So we're gonna grab this. This is gonna be a learning seed RS. All right, so we have CedarS here. I'm gonna go ahead and open up VS Code here too. Maybe. There we go. Yes, I trust myself. Sort of. I mean. Then, okay, so here's CRS. Here's all of its stuff. It looks about the same. We're going to name this. Okay, there you go. Can type something. May eventually. Hello, Chantilly. How are you doing today? It's been going a little bit roughly today. We tried you, and we could get like the Hello World displaying for just like a second, and then I tried anything else, and like it no longer like it compiles, but it no longer serves like the web server. It crashed a few times. It wasn't working good. So after like what, hour and a half or so, decided to call it quits on you and move on to the next one, which is Seed RS. Okay, so the counter example is the default example in a basic quick start, so you don't have to modify code at all. So okay, we have all this code. I mean, this looks similar enough to like most frameworks. So we have the lifecycle methods. Okay, and they're also using Elm architecture, which is similar to what you claimed as well. Now, wait, how do I run this? Is it just cargo run? I kind of was expecting it to have a... Wait, did I miss it? Wait. How do I launch the thing? Like, here's all this code how to launch it, but if this new app doesn't need any changes whatsoever, then why couldn't, I guess, like, I sort of felt like in here there should be the command for actually running this. So let's try this. We'll try it in PowerShell first, and then we'll go to WSL if that doesn't work. So we'll do a cargo run. Oh, a binary target must be available for cargo run. Are you not a binary target? You're only a library. Oh. Yeah, I only noticed this now. It's only a library. I didn't actually notice that. The wheel Wololo. Hello. You can set the tests and run those through that. Are the tests set up for that? Well, okay, there's no integration test, it looks like. Looks like we can call start. So maybe we can create like a main folder. Main.rs. And then we want to run start off of here. Something like that. Unresolved import of the same thing. Okay. How are you an unresolved import? There's something in here telling it's a library only. Is this telling it's a type? Yeah, it's. I think this is what it's telling it. It's a library only, isn't it? If I remove that, then that works, right? Oh, can I call WASM bindgen imported functions on non-WASM targets? Okay, so we can go take a look at the documentation for start here. Okay, so there's that. Oh, this goes in index.html? Well, sort of. Okay, so it runs in it. In it doesn't really do much. I don't see it running start from here. I guess like what bothers me a little bit about this is it doesn't state like here in the counter app how to actually run the counter. Unless I'm just missing it. Like I could be missing it completely, but where like I would expect on this one right here. Okay, like live demo is their own website. Where's the one where I can load it mine? Right, okay, so it's the default example, so I don't have to modify code at all. I should just be able to start this and launch it. So what are the commands that I need to start and launch? Is it just build it? But no, it's WASM stuff. Okay, so we need to install cargo make. Unless I already have that. I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't have cargo make. So let's go ahead and install you. Okay, so it's gonna be cargo make serve. So that's how we're gonna get this going. Cargo make serve. So we're gonna want to get rid of you. And then everything else here is gonna be exactly the same. We haven't touched anything at all. Just to verify. I guess a cargo lock and cargo tommel, I changed the name of the app, but that's gonna be fine. So okay, so we installed cargo make. Now we're gonna run cargo make serve. And then we're gonna open up a second terminal tab and run cargo make watch. Which we might as well wait until this is done before we start that one. We're almost there though. Oh, that makes it a PowerShell though. I don't want that. Actually, no, this is all PowerShell. This is fine. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, so for you, you are allowed microserver.exe. Gonna allow you. So then here we're gonna run cargo make watch. Is it? No, okay. So error. Error while executing command execode 1. Well, that's not helpful. Create type. Okay, create type must be a citywide lib to compile to WASM. Oh, okay. So it wants me to add this to my cargo.toml file. Oh, because I had changed that. So let's UN. Okay. I did make that change. I forgot. Okay, it's build done. Okay, so no more errors in there. So we're running on localhost 8000. Okay, there we go. So now we have our thing. I kind of wish that those instructions were in that like introduction, or at least they told you, hey, go like look at the README or go look at something else in order to like launch the thing, as opposed to just a code. Okay, so here's it's running. Make sure there's got no errors coming here, so that's all fine. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have. So we did notice that in index.html, we're calling init here. So we're importing init from the package, and we're then running init and passing it the name of the WASM that's generated. So here is that init, and it takes in the URL, which we're just not caring about whatsoever. We're creating this model with a counter of 0, and we're returning a model. Now okay, so here's the model, which is essentially, I guess like the full app state could be described inside of here. Then when okay, so that's what we return. So it's interesting because start was not called directly. This function is invoked by init. Oh, by init function in index.html. But I guess it's invoked by this WASM. It's certainly not directly invoked. Okay, so here's our view with our HTML. So we're creating a div. So we have our counter. So if I wanted to like add something else in here, looks like I can maybe do like another div with a hello world. There's our hello world. I did have to refresh, so it doesn't do like the live reload, which is fine. That's fine. Okay, so if I wanted to create my own, component, can I figure out how to do that just by looking at here? So we have like a struct model. Okay, so the message that's being sent back and forth. Okay. So view. Okay, so then this is where we're saying like, hey, send out the event. When we click, send out message increment. Yeah, I'm not exactly seeing like component type stuff in there. So let's go ahead. Let's continue looking at the documentation, and we'll continue on. Okay, so moving on to do MVC. Let's see how they're gonna do components. Or is this not a component-based web app? I forget. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just an MVC. Although the C in MVC is components, so. Okay, so we have this model, we have to do and selected to do. So that kind of looks, this kind of makes it feel like it's component based, where model is a component, to do is a component, selected to do is a component, but I may be wrong. But this looks like just storing the data, right? So we have 4 different datas that we're looking at. What I want to see is, how do I use one of those other things in Vue? Oh, create a new template HTML and include it during compilation into our Vue body. So this is going to be raw include string template. So, okay, so we're going to have template files. So these are going to be the Vue files that are then going to be pulled in at this spot. So I could create one. So I could create a template.html. So if we have index.html, we're gonna have a template. Dodo2 attitude, hello. How are you doing today? Docker isn't booting. That's rarely a good thing. Okay, so if we have a template, I don't really care about what goes in it. So in this case, we'll just have like a section class main maybe. And then we'll have like an h1 with a get, I don't know, hello from the template. Now back into here, if I wanted to include that in, what does that look like? That's going to be this raw. So raw include stir. And then this is showing // template.html. So if I do that, I mean, I don't see any giant red errors. So that's a good sign. Okay, so we have hello from the template. Okay, that's also a good sign. Now, if I want to pass something into that template and have it display, oh, they don't have good documentation on the macros. Oh, that's too bad. I guess raw isn't doing much. It's just displaying it. Okay, so I'm curious how they get that number. Let's go figure that out. So we have okay, so C okay, which is model.counter. We go look at our model counter.0. Okay. Oh, so this is the view. Okay, so if I wanted to do something, so raw probably isn't what I want. If I want to do like another button, what are you? You're gonna be like the. Oh, you're not telling me. You're gonna be like what we're displaying. So, like, I am a button. And if I just do that, yeah, okay, so that's what's displayed here. That's fine. And then the second thing is going to be the event, like when I click, increment the other thing. So for example, we could move this down here. Remove it from here. So at this point, clicking this doesn't do anything. Clicking this does do that. Okay. So that's good to know and good to see. If I didn't want it to be a button, but I wanted it to be something else. We need to look at what the macros are. So this C. Oh, that's the class that it's giving it. Okay. So if I were to look at you, class equals counter. Ah, got it. So if I changed you to be just something else, like blah. Class did not change. There it is. Okay, it took a little while for it to recompile. But there he is. Okay, so the C is how we create a class. Not a huge fan of that. It's like really hard to like understand what that is. Button makes sense. Like button, this is raw HTML. Okay, so we can create those. Okay, so we have if. Okay, so basically that's just gonna be an if. Okay, we can set the ID. We can set a style, probably an inline style. Nodes. Turn them into nodes. Log. Okay, so this is all part of seed. Yeah, okay, so it's just seed is the name of this. Let's go take a look at crates and actually see if we can find the documentation for it. And maybe here's a list of all of our macros. There we go. Okay, so in here, add classes into the element. That's nice to finally have in there. So here's the button we were using. So like, let's say I want to use a paragraph. That would just be P, right? Okay, so there's a P macro. So I could change you to just P. Now I'm curious, and this works exactly the same way. So I'm just saying, hey, when I click on this P, send this event. Yeah, okay, perfect. And I think there's things that I can do, like put a hand over that. So like I want to maybe give that a cursor, which maybe we can use the style. So what I notice here is that we can have this div, and then we can just like throw in all sorts of stuff. Which, does this mean that I want you to be like this actually? Okay, so still working. So we have like button, we have this event. Then how about add a new thing, which would be style. And then I want the oh, you don't like that at all. Is it like a string? Cursor. I forgot what it is. So in here, I want to give you cursor pointer. Yeah, cursor pointer. So cursor pointer. You seem quite unhappy. Expected leaf. Provide a shortcut for creating styles. Maybe what you are is something like this. Cursor pointer? No. None of the above. Wait, where did you send me? Where's style? Oh, style missing due to conflict with the style macro. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so here's style macro. So we're gonna get value expression. So we do want, looks like we do want semicolons here. Okay, I'm just gonna grab the key and value out. And so this is, I believe, gonna be our key values. So does that mean we actually don't want quotes? No, okay. So I don't know what the semicolon's looking for here is. Looks like it's... Oh, it's two things. Okay, so key value out of there. So that would be like the key and then a value. We could just add a class to it. That's probably the easiest and best way to do this. We have a style. Oh. Oh no, okay, so style is not in here. Let's see. Now you are loading no style sheet that I can see. But we can easily make a style sheet to add in here. So like also I can just put one in here. We can just do style. What is it gonna be? It's for this, let's do like we'll call it pointer. We'll say cursor pointer. So then in here, instead of like this entire style, we're gonna do this C macro and say pointer. And now we get this pointer here. I think, is there a selectable? Like selectable is not. I forgot like what like interactions you can do with it, but I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay, so that's how we can do like basic interactions on the site. We can do stylings with that. So basically with pointer, we can also do something like our color is gonna be, you know, red. There it goes. Okay, so it sets that, so we can give it lots of different. Now, what if I wanted the color to be a different one. So let's do like title color, and we're just gonna say color is red. So we're gonna give you both a pointer and a title color, or do I call C twice? Okay, looks like we have that there. Nice. All right. And if I wanted this like this counter, so now we have this model counter there. If I just wanted to also, instead of just saying like I am a button, if I wanted you, could I just do model.counter? Yeah, okay. So nice. We're able to get that all working. Sort of like it makes sense to a degree. If I wanted to have, let's see, what other things would we need to care about it, to like implement with our thing? Game dev networking. Oh, it's like down here. So I'd be wanting things like this to then show off what we're getting. I don't have like multiple things set up here yet. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I wonder how, like, this wouldn't be WebSockets, it would be server-side events. I wonder if this front-end framework can easily handle that. And if I had these out, we need, like, so normally I would think about, okay, this is a component for like the player name. This is a component for like the code. And then that could be sort of like thrown around, like just displayed at different areas. To me, if I wanted to have like some kind of, I guess we wouldn't have a template like this. We'd be building all of this stuff up from code using these. Which isn't like, it isn't that big of a deal, but let's see. Let's continue looking through what we have in here. So there's a routing. Okay, so if we wanted to create our own to-do, like to-do with this, now they're having us use like their styles that they've set up here, which I believe isn't a template, right? Oh, sorry, their template. Which is here in this view. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so like CSS, base CSS, which then they want you to create this and pull this in here and like add these all inside of here. Okay, so that's all fine. But I think we can go through this now. I like this, like, look at this shade that they're throwing. Write, design, model, and message first and write the other apps. It's the cleanest and preferable way. Write view first and then other items. It's useful for websites where the model will be simple for prototypes or if you like rewriting a lot. Also, it's useful if you're forced to do something like Scrum and you want to show at least something on the demo. So I have a lot of thoughts about that. That's like, there's a lot to unpack there. Obviously, the writers of this framework have feelings about Scrum. But if you don't have anything to show at a demo, that's not good. That's really not good. Also, the entire like knowing exactly what the model is going to be when you first start writing it works really well with the to-do app. Does not work really well in the real world, where requirements change, and we want them to change because if they're not changing, that means we have no users. If we don't have any users, we're not providing any value. Okay. There are specs in the official MVC repo. Okay, so they have specs to like actually do testing. That's cool. So they're creating models. This is why you have no users, because you don't like changing things. Yeah, it's like, it's actually, it drives me crazy when I hear somebody say, oh man, if it weren't just for these users, things would be so nice. And it's like, maybe, like, what? The entire point of it being software and not written to like actual firmware and shipped out to them is because we can change it fast. Also, any company that can change faster than you will win. Like that's usually what will end up happening, is that if the company we're at can't handle like a change request, then we're dead in the water. So, okay, talking about like what all these are going to be. So our model. So it looks like, okay, we're going to have multiple model structs as opposed to like one centralized state that stores all of the stuff. That's interesting. Also, okay, so this one, like model holds to do. Input element. Interesting. So they're storing the actual HTML inside of here, or at least this like ref to it. You once worked on a military security platform. It was first after a few months I learned we didn't actually have any active users. Yeah. It's like those government contracts can be really rough, right? Because the government could hire you to build something, and then you build this and you're like, well, the person sponsoring this project in the government thought we were going to use it, so like we did the entire thing, they got money for it, but like none of the other government things that this person thought was going to use it actually used it. Also, because it's waterfall, we didn't actually get any feedback from users while we were building it, so we delivered something that nobody wanted, so they just threw it away and built something else. Yeah, it's those of us worked in government jobs. It's fun. I mean, no matter what, we got paid. That might be like, a little bit of condolence, but we didn't provide value. Wait. Where's counter come from? Or is counter our current one? Currently we have... Okay, we just have this model here. Now, if I wanted to do like a single model for everything, I could do that, but it probably like, this does probably feel a little bit better. But okay, so like our model is going to be to-dos. It shouldn't have to be called model, right? And oh, where does model get created? So like we have model. And in it, we return the model. Okay. So we do have like a single model that everything goes inside. We can have other structs that are based upon this model. So if I wanted to create like another one, so let's say I wanted like the list of all the to-dos, right? How would that end up working? Like here we would want to like probably create, we need to create the model. So, and then pull out other ones. So let's say if I, instead of model, we have like all the to-do, all the tasks. And all the tasks are gonna be, probably would be a vector of like a task, which I think is very similar to what we have here. We have like tasks, and that's a vector of tasks. So then we have struct task, and we'll just do like a name. Now these are not public, I notice, but we're able to access them. Probably because, well, these are not impl off of that. So that's interesting. But I can still get like model at counter. So that's a little bit fascinating. Okay, so task name, so this will be like a string, let's say. So if we're creating this here, our model would then have tasks, which would be a vector of, and we'll create a task that has a name of like, I am a task. So if I do that, then down here, okay, so we're not gonna do, I'm not gonna do anything with this message. We're not gonna have like this button or anything else like that. What? Oh. It's like basically we could just have this div. And let's just say that you're gonna be the model dot, oh, we have to loop through. So like, how do we loop? Through all the tasks. Is it just a normal for loop? We're probably just gonna do a normal for loop, right? Did I miss it? And can I actually do that? Can I do model dot, okay, so we're gonna return a node. So, okay, we need to turn a single node. Yeah, how do we loop through that to create that? Looking at our model again. It's not anything special here. It's just this vec of to do. they just use their, they just use raw in here for that. Ah, okay, so look at that, vec. So this is creating a vector of these. Okay, so vec, and then we can pull all of these in and deal with it. Okay, got it. So we're able to create all of these based upon you. Now, vec, how do I tell it? Okay, so then there's view toggle list, view to-do list. Okay, so UL. Okay, so they're literally just manually putting in the two. They're not grabbing it from the vector of to-dos. At least yet. Okay, so if not to-dos is empty, then vec view main view footer. Okay, so then we have our footer. Okay, so this if it's still view main, we're not like passing through any of the data. So I guess that's still a little bit weird. There we go, here we go. So it maps a to-do and returns a list of these. Okay, so we have like an unordered list, and then we're gonna do list items for this and return those. Okay. So what we want here in this view is we probably want like, is there a main? Oh, there is a main. So if we just do like a div with like, oh no, let's put in test. What did I have in here previously? Okay. Div, and just do test. Oh, you're upset. Do I have to end with a comma? No. Okay, yeah, we just had this here. That's fine. So if I only wanted to do this, that's not gonna work? No, okay. Oh, it needs a string and not a stir. Oh, wait. I'm a test. Wait a second. That's up here. That's my fault. My problem. Okay. So you're fine here again. Here's our view. So if I want to like put this back in, we have main. And we just say main essentially. Okay, so here's our main, and we actually see that it is a main tag. Okay, so we're good to go there. Heck, I can even replace this by saying, okay, we're gonna have main, and then inside of main, we're gonna have an h1. And the h1 is gonna have this will be just like to do. Okay, there we go. Now if I want that like list of all the to-do items, so if I pretend to like set that up here, we would want we have one, maybe it'd be something like a UL and then inside of UL, we'd have a list item. And inside of the list item, then we can have like task name. Something like that. Okay, there's a task name. We'd want this to be like an input where then we can like check it, but I will worry about that in a second. If I just want to like now replace this with what we have here, I am a task. This could be model.task of 0 name. Cannot move out, okay. Okay, so you become I am a task there. Now, if I want to create a second one here, so we have a task, name, pet the cat. We run into the problem where like now I don't see that, right? Because I want to loop through these to create those. So I want to create these allies here with a loop. So we want to do a model.task.iter. We can maybe map this. We're gonna take a task, and I want to create an li with the task.name. Okay, so that's how we can get all of those. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense, and that works out decently well. So if I wanted to create, let's see. So I let's see. I don't see any like the app that we're going to build is pretty simple. We would want to be able to grab input. So what if I want to do like the classic, like, okay, create a new to do, like that's kind of important, right? So we'd have main up here. So we have to do, and then we have maybe like an h2. What? Oh, there it goes. Okay, h2, and we're gonna say like create a task, and then down below this, so this one h2 will also have just like all tasks. So then in here we want like an input. Form. Hello. Are you here to say hi? Or that you'd like me to stop streaming and go up and feed you? Or that you just want pets? I'm gonna go with pets. You just want pets. Okay, let's see what we got input. Okay, so here's an input. Okay, that's, well, hello. So there is an input here. Now this is not helpful in any way whatsoever. I kind of wish there was documentation in here for the input. Maybe there's better documentation for like, okay, do they have like, goes there. Do you have like a different? No, it doesn't look like there's any good sort of like documentation on exactly how like some of these are used. So I guess we'll go into 2 MVC and we need to see how the input works. Okay, so here's input. Give it a class. Okay, then attributes. Okay, these are all fine. So I want to see where, like on submit. Oh, is that going to be a button? It's probably going to be a button. It's probably going to be a button. It's going to be an event, right? Okay, so we can do the same thing that we did before. So we have this input. We have to give it these attributes. So if I just have this input that's empty. We're gonna get an empty input like this. Okay, but that's gonna be fine. We can just put something in here. Now, if I want to have an event added on, which I think is like the EV. I think it was EV. Okay, so the trigger. So websys event. So event. Inputs. We need to know what events you are. There's like blur, there's change. I think change might be what we want. Change. Kind of want to go back and look at how the first one did it. I think we can see quick seed start. Yeah, okay, so we have, oh, look, EV click. Okay, so it's click like that. Where do they pull that in? Must be part of the seed prelude. So do you re-export events? Because here's all these macros. Give these modules. I don't see event. Oh, okay, so some of these. Okay, so if I search for like change, like on change. Okay, so EV enum restricts element creation. Okay, so this is what we want. So public enum EV. So we saw EV click, and then that's the message that's being done. Okay, so we can do this EV. So we want to use EV instead of this event. So we want EV. In this case, change. Then the event handler, which I think is just a callback function. Yeah, where then we're going to pass in message and then like what the message is going to be, which is this enum message that we created ourselves. But that could be a struct too. So we need to make sure this message is set up correctly. So instead of increment, we're going to have like add task, then maybe like a string in here. for the task name. So in view, okay, so EV change. This is then gonna be you. We don't care about you. And do a message, add task, and this is gonna be like whatever the new task. So newer task. Okay, so that's gonna add you in there. What are you upset about? Failed to resolve use of undeclared type L. Wait, where is that? What was like happening there? That was weird. Okay, so drive copy. Oh, you won't work. Okay, well, apparently Rust Analyzer tried to help and it caused all sorts of weirdness. It also says I have 2 errors. Oh, I need to do, well, no, that's in their code. That's in their code. Okay, so back to this. What I want to do is like do that, and now I want to like display that out. Because unless I can like console log, which I don't know how to do here, which is possibly something that would be nice to be able to do. Let's go into our view, and here, right underneath our input, I'm gonna put in the add task, which means, okay, this needs to be added to our model. So in our model, let's just add like input temporarily, just sort of like see what we feel like. And you're gonna be input. We're gonna make you a string. You're just gonna be like that. And then in update, so message, add task, you're gonna be the new task. I wanna say model dot input is equal to task. And then down here, say model dot input. I was kind of hoping that like we could see that popping out, but I don't see. Oh. Newer task showed up here. Okay, so yeah, newer task shows up. So if I hit refresh, We do A or T. Oh, I have to click away from it, so change isn't right. There's an input for like when it's being added in. But I don't remember what that is. It's like it's not gonna be change. Oh, sorry, hit the microphone again. What else can we do? Events. All these macros are not helping. Okay. Where am I learning from? For the most part, is a combination of the official documentation, the initial little guide thing here, and then the docs. Sort of like going back and forth and like seeing that. Faraz Bag, hello. So yeah, everything. Now let's see. Let's go take a look at MDN. Input. Specifically, what are the events? There's change and input. Okay, so input is probably what I want. So change didn't work. Let's try input. Yeah, okay, so that adds that in there. Now, right now, I just have this newer task being added in. What I want to do is now find out how do I make it so that way I get like the value of this. And it's not like an event, right? I don't think I can do something like EV value. So we have to grab the value from this input. You're not going to help here because this one doesn't have any inputs. Maybe somewhere in here, some entity names. Okay, this is in module seed. So like input. Yeah, the macro is not a help. Okay, look at this. Okay, so there's this input Eve. It's a function, a trigger, and a handler. Create an event that passes a string of field text for fast input handling. That's exactly what we want. So this is going to be input Eve, which is just a normal function. And that's going to take, so is this here? Also, what are you? Maybe you're like the string. So like, what are you? So I'm gonna put this back. Do what? Here, let's just pass in what? Let's see what you are. Oh, okay. So construct payload websys event. So what dot into nodes is element is empty is text. That message. Okay, let's do text. That. No method, name text found for websys event. Okay, so can I do, I guess in here it'll be like, that's not into Now, so there's that, but can I also do a debug? What? Oh yeah, and then the at the very end. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna reverse this. You go first. You get a semicolon and you don't. Okay. I wonder if this is gonna print out down there in one of them, which would be really nice. So let's refresh you. Huh. Oh, I can't like give extra spaces in it. I don't think it printed out. I don't think it does that, which is a little bit sad. Okay. So what is an event? Wait. Wait. What kind of... Yes, I know. Tell me what... Okay. So apparently if I try to change this into like a... What? You're going to be upset. The trait bound string counter from a seed prelude WebSys event. Okay, so it's a WebSys event. So that's in... We probably need to go to WebSys. And then here we can look for event. Okay, so there's a target. So we probably want to do like what.target. Dot value. Dot value. Oh, you're an option. Okay, so then unwrap. Okay, so then we have an event target. Dot. Okay. So then we have an event target here. Then I don't know if this is what I want. Like we have type, we have all this stuff, but it's not, doesn't seem to be helpful. You can two-string it. You can two-string it to see what we have. Expected struct, centered string, found struct JS string. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that gives us a JS string. Like, is there anything here that returns just a string? Or a stir or anything? No? Would that be too nice? As string. Okay, as string is what I want. As string. Then I have to unwrap. Okay, so it didn't crash. That's a good sign. Now if I run this again, object HTML input element. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, so as string, that's literally what we have. We have an HTML input element. So perfect. That I mean, it's not perfect, but what we can do now is, now that we know that we have an input element, how do I grab?
Yo, what's going on?
I want to grab the information. Like, is there a get for value? These are all like setters. I mean, there's some getters in here, but not enough. Okay, so getter, the name, I don't care about the name. So there must be something for value then. Value. Getter for the value field of this object. Okay, so then event end here, then do value like that.
What's going on?
Failed. No method name value for the struct string. Oh, I don't want this there. Oh. Is that right? No method name value found for struct JS string. Okay, so we get a JS string and they need to turn it into an HTML. Oh. So like, how do I tell you what you are? We can try an into. So I want to get like the input object, right? There's no input. So none of that stuff. So I need to get this out of here. So I don't want like toString out of it, but I want to like actually figure out what it is and convert it over to that. And looking at what we have right now, so we have this input here. We're getting which is this event. So normally in JavaScript, what I'll do is something like event.target.value. So if I have this event, which we know is a WebSys event. So search for, let's go back to WebSys event. So usually I want like the target. Getter for the target field of this object, which is then an option of an event target. I don't think there's anything here. Yeah, so we just want target. Getter for the target field. So okay, so one thing at a time here. So we're gonna do a we're gonna do let target equals event dot target dot unwrap. Okay. Okay, so now I have a target, which is this event target. I know that this is an input, so if I want to get the value out of it, I need to make sure it knows that there is a value on it. But is there something like a value in here? So it's new, that's not helpful. There's this value of. We could try value of. So then we have that value equals target dot value of. I don't know what that is. You are unknown. Cool. So then I want to do this message. So we're going to return a message, add task, just stuff value in there and see what happens. Okay, found this JSys object. So that's what we ended up finding as a JSys object. Okay, well, actually notice here, it returns an object. Is there anything here that returns a string? Like an actual string. As string. Okay, so let's try the as string now. Which then we have to unwrap. Oh, nice. Panic to called option unwrap on a none value. None, huh? Probably here. So this was a none. Okay, so as string is a none. Okay, can I just search for value from like maybe input? Like, how would I get to, no, because like, there's too many values. But if I can get to HTML input, then we can get value for this. So we need to make sure we get it into this HTML input element. So then HTML input element in return types. Well, okay, it's not helpful. So if we go back to event, so starting an event, we get the target, which gives us this option of event target. From event target, and we find input. All the stuff on the left. I want to look on the stuff on the right. Okay, so we can do as ref event target for HTML. Well, that's not helpful. Yes, that's all we have is like these traits. Oh, wait, these are methods. From HTML, is there like a to or into? Yeah, I think what we're getting is like the wrong thing here. Now, what I didn't notice before, I don't do this. So let's just do that temporarily. If I run my debug, actually, can I do console log? Log? Console? Nope. Debug. Debug this event. So you're happy. So that doesn't log there, and I don't think it logs here at all either. Yeah, nothing changes there. Nothing changes in any of these. So debug doesn't actually go anywhere that I can see. But so maybe what we want to do is this input isn't correct. Like maybe you need to be this input EV. So then we have the trigger, which is EV input. And then the handler. So event, and then let's just try message, add task, event, like that. And that's what we're returning. Okay. You're okay with that. Oh, not okay with that. Because input EV so it's a function. Oh. Does that go inside of the input? So do I do something like input here? where we're gonna have like the I don't know what we're gonna put in there. Do you go inside of this? There we go. Look at that. Now we're able to grab this inside of here. Okay, so instead of input, we want maybe change. And then instead of event, this is gonna be like the new task. And that becomes like goes into the input. So that's super interesting. So like when we task, we're going to add a new task instead of like this model input task. We're gonna say model.task.push in a new task, which has name of task. So if we do that, then we type this in, click away, and that gets added in here. So now if I wanted a button to do that instead, like I think right now if I just type hit return, that does work. If I wanted a button to do this, there's several different ways we can handle that. We can do exactly what we're doing right now, which is every time we click, it stores in what that is, and then we're just gonna throw that in there. That's actually the easiest way. That's something that's commonly done in like front end frameworks. The other thing is I can then do like a query and grab the information in here out when we click OK. Either way works. So basically this is working exactly as it's expected right now. We probably also want to like set the value in here. Can we? So input. So what is this something? Oh, I think we have to have like attributes. So attributes. And then there's like a value. How did we set the attributes in here? So I see like attributes at type is checkbox. Okay, so there's an AT. So AT value. Huh. Value is going to be blah. Now, can I change this? I can change this, and that works. But notice it's set back to this. So I want you to be set to model.input. So now it's set to nothing, and we can like add this in here. And notice that goes back away again. So now we can have a button. Well, that's because we're not updating the value of this, right? Like we're not saying we're not doing anything special with this. It's like add task is push this task name. So I probably want to we're gonna have a message. Okay, so we have add task. We don't do anything with you. Instead here we have like an update task, like input. This is gonna have like the updated task. You're liking Azure? Nice. I haven't used Azure ever myself. Well, okay, that's not completely true. I've helped some students with it, and this was like, okay, to be fair, I give Azure a lot of crap because like 5 years ago, they were terrible. Like the interface for like actually doing anything was terrible. There's like 3 or 4 different ways to do everything. It confused everyone trying to like figure it out. They somehow made an interface that made AWS look good, which I don't know how they managed to do. So if they're doing much better with Azure, then good for them. AWS needs competition. It's like AWS both all the ugliness. Okay, so they fixed a lot of that stuff. That's good to know, because it was just terrible. There was one time I remember a student came up to me and was, had their, I don't know, 50,000 Azure credits or whatever it was that they had gotten from Microsoft, and it was okay. To spin up like a new app, you can't do that here. You're gonna have to go into like the new Azure like interface. But he had to keep on going back and forth between like the new and the old Azure interfaces to do like one project. And that was really bad because it was really confusing about like, where do you need to do this stuff? I don't know. Good luck, figure it out. You can literally upload your Docker Compose to the internet. That is nice. So it looks like they fixed out a lot. Like it sounds like they fixed a lot of those problems, which is most of the reasons why I was giving them, crap. Okay, so in when we have an input here, so let's go back to input for this. So input, we're gonna not do add task. We're gonna do the update task input and put like the new task inside of here. So then this is gonna be the update task input. We're gonna take in the task and we're gonna do model dot input equals like this task. Okay, so that's going to be stored inside of this model for the input. But then we want this add task. So when that happens, so message add task, we're going to say model.task dot push a task with a name of model.input. But I want this to be multi-line because we're going to do a couple things here. So we're going to start with that. So we're going to push you in, and then we're going to say model.input dot clear. So we clear out the input. Then, wait a second. I did it wrong. No, I didn't do it wrong. I did it right. You're a string. There you go. Lumicode, hello. How are you doing? Okay, so model.input cannot move out of you. That's understandable. So we're just gonna clone you. Okay. So all of that's good. Then in here, so in input, we're update the new task, and then we want, after this input, we're gonna have a button. So I don't need this anymore. So we're gonna do a button. And our button is gonna be, I guess like the label of this button is gonna be add task. So if I just do this, Here's our add task. Then instead of this, we're going to have our EV. V is going to be EV click. So when we click, we're just going to return message. I guess we don't care about the event. Message add task. And so now what I can do is I can type in here, hit add task, that adds it, that resets this also, or I can say like new task and hit, oh, I thought I could hit return. So I can't hit return with that. Can I do also put EV V return, enter, key down. Oh, you're not gonna let me do, you don't know enter, do you? Or return, or submit? Maybe submit. So then this, I want to turn message add task. Let's see if that does it. I can't imagine it will, because I don't think this is the submit event, but maybe it is. So if I type in here, yeah. If I do add task, that works. If I hit return, that does not work, because I need to, oh, so it's gonna be like key down, isn't it? So it's gonna be key down, and then we're gonna get like this event in here, and we don't know what this event is. So like we have to figure out what the key down event is. We know that that's a WebSys event. That seems, oh, it's gonna be rough, because like now I think this is gonna add it on every key down, which is not what we want. Yeah, look at that. It adds all of these and it's resetting it because it's on every single key down, which is unfortunate. So I don't know what this event is. It's a most likely, well, okay. We know it's an event. But then we know it's like a key down event. But it's not a target. It just I don't know how to do like a key down. It's like a key. Yeah, so there's like trying to do something to make it like really nice from a like trying to actually make this work according to like how proper design would work. Feels like it's not like that I'm fighting Seed. It's more of that I'm finding the documentation of Seed. I like Seed. I like where they're going with it, but I feel like I need a little bit more. Like I want to be more productive when I'm like working with web type stuff. And right now, I feel like it's cool, but I'm more like puzzle solving than I am just like having the framework get out of my way so I can just do what I want to do. I do think that they're going somewhere right. So I like where they're heading with it. So let's see. The hello. Because it wasn't really hello world, was it? It was a counter sample working. Figured out. How to manipulate input fields. I'm sure like there's a lot more that we can like play around with it, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's enough for me to like want to do for this project right now. Maybe for like its own web project, we could deal with this. So I think we're gonna choose Vue for it, partially because like I'm familiar, and the really big thing is like the multiplayer with like the back end for it. So I think we're gonna have to stick with what I'm familiar with for this one right now. Now there's like server-side events that I'm not familiar with Vue, but we're gonna have to deal with that. Now where the front end is gonna be hosted, I'm gonna have to look at a bunch of different options. Like DigitalOcean is like an easy option to choose from. And like where the backend is gonna be served to is gonna be important, because if we're using Rocket, which we chose Rocket. So this is gonna be our winner. Install and manage everything. Well, that would be kind of like DigitalOcean, right? Like we're in charge of literally everything. For front end type stuff, there's actually a lot of choices here. So like we could just go like S3 on AWS. So AWS S3. There's also a service that Amazon has called Amplify, which is actually really nice, but I use this at work, but I don't necessarily want to use it here unless it's cheap. So I need to like use the calculator to make sure it's not going to be something like charging me like $20 per month for a like simple website. There's DigitalOcean. We also have Heroku, Firebase. You try to avoid the giants of the cloud. I know, but like now that DigitalOcean is public, oh, you have Hetzner and OVH. I am not familiar with either of those. Hetzner. That Hetzner. Well, and I'm not going to do one at home because that's too dangerous. It's too easy for me to make one mistake, and I've just exposed my personal network to the internet, which is not a good idea. If I wasn't like sharing this out with all of you, then it would probably like a home network would probably be a good choice too. Yeah, for like personal type stuff. Yeah, Lab, that's a good one. OVH, I've never heard of that one either. Oh, there's also Linode. What else is there? Now I'm not necessarily going to test all of these, but like I guess just for collecting these, it's sort of like interesting to sort of see. I guess that makes sense. Hetzner is German. I'm probably mispronouncing that, aren't I? OVH is like #1 European provider. So I'm in America here. So if they don't have like American servers or like go for American audience, then that's probably not going to be good for me. So Heroku and Firebase, I can get, they can be free. Like, I can do that for free, essentially. S3 is pretty cheap. Amplify is, who knows? Amplify uses S3 behind the scenes. DigitalOcean is just bare metal. Heroku is free and hosted, but I have to provide some kind of server for it. But that could be just like a super basic server. I don't think Heroku has a Rust server yet, do they? Do they? No, they don't. Now I could do Docker stuff with Heroku, but I don't have Docker set up on this system here, so that would be a little bit more difficult. Kubernetes providers. Oh yeah, I could totally do Kubernetes for this app. That's gonna, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do Kubernetes. I'm not gonna need more than one server. Mostly because like I don't expect anybody more than my parents to play this like once per month. So that kind of stuff is actually going to be really interesting for like big things. But like I know too many people that like go to Heroku for like their simple like, here, my personal like website. It's like, oh sorry, Kubernetes. And it's like, unless you're a Kubernetes engineer and you're trying to show off your skills, just don't. Firebase is owned by Google. So like if nothing else, that's a reason not to use them. But they are good for what they do. You can get like 3 or 5 or however many free websites off of it, and they're decently fast. They don't go to sleep like Heroku does. And you can just use like the web hosting part of Firebase. You don't have to use the database part. Don't know about these two. Linode is similar to DigitalOcean. You just get a bare metal and you just use it. So like I know DigitalOcean, so they, it's $5 per month for the cheapest. S3, we're talking about pennies, but like I'll have to figure out what that is. Amplify, no idea. Heroku, for what I'm going to use it for, I think, what is Heroku's, Free and hobby. What's hobby? $7 per month. Okay. So that is $7 per month. Firebase would be free. Some of those, and Linode. I want to say Linode is $3 per month. Yeah, they probably don't. They probably wouldn't mind. So like here, let's give Heroku a little bit nicer. We'll just say it's also free. Free with delay. Linode. Sure, calculator. Okay, so I want independent freelance. It's going to be personal. Wait. Okay. No. United States. Let's do California. Like there's people all over the place, but like I don't know. It's where my parents are in California, so it'd be fast for them and slow for everybody else. Wait, what else? Type of business. I chose that one. Maybe I chose it. What are you considering? I mean, that one. How are you managing infrastructure today? I just, okay, here. We'll just say DigitalOcean. What operating systems? I usually use Linux. I just don't need an e-commerce website. I guess it'd be a web application API. Yeah, okay, so they're, I don't think that's right. This feels way wrong of like $330 per month. Okay, how can I do my calculator for like the simple? Because they said when I do simple, use this. Okay, completely different application, which I don't know why. Okay, so I want one CPU, no additional storage, no additional transfer. Shared would be the cheapest that could possibly be, I'm sure. Is this per month? Okay, cost per month. You're $5 per month. So I can tell you right now, I can get a one CPU I can get these stats for like way less than 100 per month from AWS. Like AWS themselves has it for way less than $100 per month. If I did dedicated, yeah, okay. These feel not right to me. Sure Shock, hello. Vulture has $3 a month. Let's go take a look. So this is saying $5 per month, which notice how they're not showing DigitalOcean because DigitalOcean is the same as theirs. So Linode would be $5 per month. So what is this? Vulture? Vulture. Here we'll take let's take the bare metal and compare it to like S2. Yeah, not S3. I think it's S2 or yeah. Let's see. View pricing. What? Okay, okay. I chose the wrong thing clearly because that's just a tiny bit more than $3 per month. Okay, that's okay. We brought it down to $60 per month. Is it compute? Okay, here we go. We have a single CPU with only 512 megabyte of memory, which I don't need much. Bandwidth is like half a terabyte, which probably would be fine for me. $250 per month. So $250 per month is not bad at all. Let's see. I think that AWS has their like price calculator, right? They've redone it a few times in the past, so I don't know if they still like. I remember they have like issues. Let's say I want to use just S3. AWS does have a free tier, although I'm out of the free tier now. I could create a new account for this, or I can use my existing account. Like right now, I'm storing like a bunch of things that I don't want like gone, and it's like costing me 27 cents per month. It's not very. It's like not bad at all. So if I just have like S3 standard, there's EC2 and there's S3. We're talking about different things here. EC2 would be a tiny instance. I don't think it's always free. It's like $2-3 a month, I think. But we can take a look at it. Let's do S3 first, because for something like a front-end framework, I should be able to just store all of that stuff, just the JavaScript and the HTML and the CSS in a folder there, and that could just be the deployment. And that would work. Because a server would be stored somewhere else. So like for the front end, S3 standard storage, so let's say that this is like literally 1. Like maybe this would be less than that. It'd be like 0.1. That's 100 megabytes. That's huge for what we're doing. Okay, number of requests. I'm guessing this is per month. So I'm gonna say that this would be like maybe 1,000 per month. I can't imagine it'd be more than this, but I'm gonna be conservative with this. The amount of data returned would not be very much. So let's do 500 megabytes per month. So 0.5. Data scanned by F. Don't even know what that is. I'm gonna ignore that. So look at this. This data here, what I put in would be 1 cent per month. Even if I jump this up, if I did like, hey, if my app required 1 gigabyte, we needed 100,000. And I'm returning a gigabyte per month, maybe even like 10 gigabytes per month, we're still less than $1. So when it comes to like just a front end and deploying just the front end on its own, and you have like HTML, pre-built, everything else, like that's so cheap. So S3 is hard to beat. Now if I come, let's create the estimate, EC2. I want a Linux operating system. I want virtual CPUs. Can I just have like one? Memory. Is this gigabytes? Like, I don't need more than one. I only need one instance. So here's this micro. Here, we'll choose. What's better, micro or nano is better. So here's a T4G Nano. Let's say I've somehow give 100% utilization per month. This would be $4.90 per month. If I have it sleeping for 50% of the time, it doesn't matter because I'm reserving it full time. So that's what this would be, like $5 per month or so if I use like a nano. If I switch from a nano to a micro, we're at $687. Not bad, actually. Oh yeah, that is true. Like if somebody like spams that kind of thing, that's actually a reason to potentially do something like EC2 instead of something else, is to like shut that down. Although in that case, I might go with something like DigitalOcean that has a cap. Let's see. I want to go back to here though and look at Amplify. Do you have Amplify? You don't. Yes. Amplify. So, the build and deploy is the CI/CD, so that's 1 cent per build minute. So using something like Vue will be really cheap. If I did something like Rust, it would probably be really expensive for me because Rust takes forever to build. And then, okay, hosting is 2.3 cents per gigabyte per month, and then 15 cents per gigabyte served. That's not bad. Okay, example one, a startup team with 5 developers have an app that has 300 daily active users. They would say it's about $8.08 per month. Haha, you'll make your own website deployment service, give me free access, but first you need to finish your other 9 other projects and then code the actual hosting service. And that's the reason why I end up using services like these. Because like it makes sense to me. It's like I could build something and I can spend a lot of time working on it, or I can just pay a little bit of money and then not have to worry about that, and then I spend my time elsewhere. And it makes a lot of sense that I have them deal with all of this stuff and then go from there. So it will be less than this for me. And considering this is so close to like the DigitalOcean stuff, and I can turn it off when I'm not using it, I might end up just going with Amplify. And I'll show you like when we get to that, I'll show you what Amplify looks like. It's actually really cool. There's a lot of cool features that you get from it. I don't like, I'll have to store the front end, like this could be the front end though. The back end, however, is going to be a little bit different. Because it's going to be a Rust Rocket server, we have to find some place to store that. That's where looks like maybe using this might be the best. So we can get the cloud instance and just throw that on there, or we could just use DigitalOcean. And that would be $5 per month. So, and then I can put multiple servers on there too, and it'll be all good. So I'll worry about that later. There's also the AWS choice for that as well. I don't know. Well, we'll have to see about that when we get to that point. But that's probably going to be in the future. So what we have done today is chosen our front end. So we're going to go with Vue for our front end. We did check out Vue and CRS, and while they're cool, Vue just didn't work at all for us. We couldn't get it working either in WSL or in Windows native. And CRS works, but it's like too much work to create like the real app. If that's any, like, if that makes any sense. I want my like front end to get out of the way as quickly as possible. Like I'm not building this to build something. I'm building this for like the end result. Right now, like Vue is my favorite because of it gets out of the way as quickly as possible. So hopefully Seed or you will like come up and like, you know, like they're both being worked on, right? Like they both say, hey, things are changing quite quickly. So in the future, these might be the primary choice. So I'm going to keep my eye on them. And then the front end, we're gonna have to choose. I'm thinking Amplify is probably gonna be the winner, but like S3 is really cheap. So that could be the winner too. All right. We could also just do Digital Ocean. I'll just create like, a route in Rocket to like serve up the HTML stuff, but I don't know if I care about that necessarily. Or Heroku could be good too. All right. I think we're good until the next thing. And if we take a look at what the next thing is, basically we've chosen server tech. Okay, we need to do some experiments with Vue and Rocket to see about how these server sent events work. I need to be able to build out like just something and then to like be receiving events coming back in. So I think figuring out what this means and like what this is going to be the next step. And that is going to be tomorrow because it is 12:36. I'm getting really hungry, so I need to go grab some food. What I'm going to end up doing is end the video portion here, and then we're going to go do a raid. So thank you everybody for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.